join in and see what is going on, and let me add on to my learning, and let me have some fun along the way as well. Over to you, Toastmaster Ruchira. Have a great journey ahead.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bisharaj, for those kind words. With that, before we start with the meeting, for the benefit of our guests, let me explain a little bit about what Toastmasters is. So, Toastmasters is an international organization that is dedicated to building better communicators and leaders of tomorrow through a structured learning process of prepared speeches, impromptu speaking sections, and most of all, a continuous positive feedback cycle. At the club level, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience where members are empowered to improve their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. Now, before we proceed, I'd like to share a short story with all of you. When I was in kindergarten, we used to have this big sandpit to play in, and my first ever report card read, Ruchira may be the tiniest one, but she loves to organize everyone in the sandpit. Now, this organizing capability stayed with me across the years. And for those of you who've seen me in person, you'll know that so has the tiny part. But growing up, whenever we would play team games, I would usually be the one to help choose the teams or to choose which games we would play. And for that, I was usually called bossy. But I didn't like the sound of that. So I actively started holding in my thoughts so that I would not appear bossy. And this led to feelings of self doubt later on. And I began to see that far from that decisive child, I had turned into this indecisive person. Then one day, I was reading this book called Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg when I came across this quote that we don't always encourage leadership in women. Instead of calling that little girl bossy, why don't we just start by saying she already has leadership qualities? And that made a world of a difference to me. I started my path on a journey of leadership, and I've not looked back since. All the way to today, where I'm comfortably able to juggle my various responsibilities both at work and at Toastmasters. You see, if we can just overcome our fears or our insecurities, there is a world of possibilities that lie before us. And Toastmasters helped me realize this in a very different way. You see, Toastmasters can be thought of as a dress rehearsal for the real world. This is the place to experiment, to try new things, to put aside those fears and insecurities so that we can step into the real world better equipped as both leaders and communicators. Now, to take the meeting forward today, we have someone who acts as an anchor for the evening and ensures the smooth progress. And for that, we have a lady who has been an avid Toastmaster at the Elite Toastmasters Club since 2019. She's been a past Vice President Education, past President. She's the current Area K3 Director, and she's a club mentor of Win Toastmasters Club. By nature, she's fun loving and hardworking, and a mother of a daughter who's in middle school. With that, I'd like to welcome on the podium today our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rupasree Biswas.
Thank you so much, Madam President, and a good evening to one and all present here, especially Toastmaster Viswaraj, because this is the first time we are normally having a male Toastmaster. Is that allowed, Madam President? Can you just confirm?
Yes, it is allowed.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, before I proceed, may I please have a huge round of applause for each and every charter member who made the possibility of chartering Win Toastmasters Club. Let us all applaud ourselves. Let us all unmute ourselves and applaud for everyone. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, I am the Toastmaster of the evening tonight, bringing forth today's theme. Are you who you are? Am I who I am? Well, this is supposed to be a very delicate, but a sensitive question which we have hardly thought about. We rarely discuss about this topic, but this is something we always need to sit with ourselves and find out. Are we who we are? Well, to find out the single answer, may I just okay, let's have some volunteers. Let's have some volunteers. Stacy ma'am, since you are here, let us just have some answers from you. What do you understand by this particular theme? Are you who you are?
Are you who you are? Well, it takes a lot of time to really realize who you are and what your worth is. When you are faced with difficulties and when you are confronted with situations, I think that's the time we really realize who we are and what is our worth. Because the moment you are hit with something hard, that's the time you pick up yourself and you want to move on. Like, I've been struggling with one part in my life, and that is my weight. And all these years I have been literally fighting the battle of the bulge, and it's just not happening. It's just not happening. But believe me, in this lockdown, I've started gymming twice a day, and things are working out. So if you believe in yourself, as in, you take up something and you do it dedicatedly, yes, that's when you really realize your worth. And you know what actually made me realize that worth is my son. He told me, Mama, we had a slim mama. Why does our sister have to have a fat mama? So actually, there's a 15-year gap between my sons and my daughter. So that's the thing, that when I realize my worth, that I am worth something to my children, so why not do it for them? Yes, that's a beautiful topic you have chosen. Thank you so much.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your brilliant answer and response. Well, to find out who we actually are, we have to do one thing. And that one thing is sparing some hashtag me time with ourselves to really, really find out who we are. Are we merely defined by the relationship roles that we are playing? Relationship, the role of a daughter, a mother, of course, sister, wife, daughter in law, and so many others? Are we merely defined in that way? Or are we something more than that? Or are we nothing? What are we? It's a big question. Have you ever noticed a seed growing into a huge tree? Well, what happens next? Flower starts blossoming, tree leaves comes out, fruits starts growing, and then what next? With the arrival of autumn, the leaves dry off. Again, when the spring approaches, new leaves comes out. Are we something like that? Do we find any similarity? Something like when life throws challenges on us, we dry off like those dried leaves and we feel that life has ended? Or are we like those new leaves who feel there's a light at the end and we stand up again? Are we those who can be uprooted from the soil when some fearful storm attacks us? Or we can stand alone even though the storm hits us hard. What are we? Well, we'll find out more about this, but before that, let me explain the basic structure of a typical Toastmasters meeting. Every Toastmasters session has three parts. prepared speech, table topics, followed by general evaluation. For the prepared speeches, the speaker have prepared themselves with the help of their mentors. They are supposed to deliver speeches based on the pathways. They will be evaluated by an evaluator in the day of the speech. When the table topics parts begins, the table topic is basically an impromptu section where the speakers are expected, the members are expected, even the guests are allowed to volunteer themselves to speak for a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes 30 seconds. Then comes the general evaluation. The general evaluation is an evaluation from the beginning till the end by the general evaluator. Well, so ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome today's general evaluator. But before I welcome her, I would love to say a few words about this lady. Well, to introduce her, first of all, I will say I was mesmerized and flabbergasted when I heard the speech in Hindi, especially on the day she was delivering a speech on Amrita Preetham. I was, it's not shock, I was just taken away. What expression, what brilliance she can share through her speeches. She's an amazing, amazing lady. Well, when I asked her the question, what do you think people think about you? You know what she said? She said, well, people thinks me I'm arrogant. They thinks I'm always happy. And they think I'm very strong. What do you think about yourself? She thinks she's not at all arrogant. Well, we'll find out that in the later days. She even thinks, not think, she cries at times. That is the best way of making ourselves lighter, I feel. And we should cry every time. Well, that's a good exercise for eyes also. And she is a strong woman. Well, at times, she feels that they want to think whatever they want to. It's none of her job, but she is what she is. And we'll find out more about this beautiful and amazing lady in the later sessions, gradually, when she joins us regularly, sharing her beautiful stories in the journey. So, friends, please help me welcome today's General Evaluator, Toastmaster Shruti Srivastav. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rupasree Biswas, for giving me this wonderful introduction. And I think I should call my husband or my partner to just listen to how to introduce his lady, in front of everyone. So that's I'm flabbergasted. Moving ahead, uh, the topic of today's meeting is evaluation or knowing oneself who we are. And let me tell you one important thing that successful people, women or men, they always assess themselves. It's important to measure your success in terms of small growth patterns or small rituals that you build over time. And one of the rituals is congratulations, you're on one of it. You all are here in this meeting. You have joined Toastmasters. This is one of the rituals of your growth. And moving ahead, I'm going to take care of one part of your self assessment. Let me be a part of you for the next 2 hours. I will help you evaluate your speeches, your talking time with my brigade of 4 wonderful, wonderful women who will help me to understand where you are and what are the places where you can grow. Without the bulge or no bulge, there are no battles here. You can just grow. Moving ahead. So like I mentioned about my brigade of wonderful women, yes, I have a brigade of wonderful women who will help me. The first person who is going to help me is with the time. It's important to understand that you do not take a lifetime to take that first step, isn't it? It's important to understand how much time that you allocate to each of your ritual or each of your step in your growth. So I'm going to call upon stage Toastmaster Panna Rashmire, who will be playing the role of the timer. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster Panna Rashmire.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Shruti. Good evening, everyone. everyone. How are you doing today? All good? Can I have a show of hands from all those whose parents used to tell them, you need to come back home as soon as the street light is on? Yeah, everybody. I thought the youngsters didn't have it, only us, the youngsters. Well, that was our parents instilling the discipline of time. And that importance of time is carried on in Toastmasters, wherein we have a timer to see and check that everyone speaks within their allocated time limit. So today I'm going to time three major groups of speakers, and that is the prepared speeches. We have two different speakers today. One is an icebreaker and one is a level 3 speaker, right? So the first icebreaker speech is for 4 to 6 minutes, wherein I'll be using the virtual background to show green at 4, yellow at 5, and red at 6. And there'll be 30 seconds grace, the upper and lower limit. For the second speaker, Toastmaster Neelu, her speech is for 5 to 7 minutes, wherein I'll be showing green at 5, yellow at 6, and red at 7. And there'll be 30 seconds grace in the upper and lower limit. Now, for the evaluation, for the table topic speakers, they get 1 to 2 minutes, wherein I'll be showing green at the end of 1 minute, yellow at the end of 1.5 minutes, and red at the end of 2 minutes. Table topic speakers, please note, there is 30 seconds grace only at the upper level and not at the lower level. So you have to speak minimum 1 minute, okay? Try till you reach, see my green light is on. For the evaluators, you have 2 to 3 minutes. At 2, I will show the green. At 2.5, I'll show the yellow. And at 3, I will show the red. And table topic and speaker evaluators, you get 30 seconds grace at the upper and lower limit. That is all my role for today, my role introduction. Over to you, General Evaluator. I will give my report when you call me to do so, whenever you call me to do so. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Panna. That was a very exhaustive, I would say, introduction to the timer card. And my favorite color is yellow, so I would stay with it. Moving ahead, the next step of your growth is that you do not go into that rabbit hole of stories, rabbit hole of taking the first steps, rabbit hole of thinking what to do. Yes, I'm talking about the places where you think, but your brain and your tongue or the speech area does not coordinate very well. And when you say ers, and which are not the pleasurable ones, by the way, women. So moving ahead is the next R counter, who is going to help you and count all the R's. And let me call upon stage Toastmaster Priya Sinha, who will explain her role. Over to you, Toastmaster Priya.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening. Am I audible? Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and the dear guest. As introduced, I am the R counter for the day. Filler words, scratches, and the unintentional sounds like so, well, but, arms. They all cause interruptions in the flow of speech and make it less attractive. Also, they reduce the impact of the speech. My role is to keep eyes on them and make a report which will explain how many times each speaker has used these filler words and crutches. I will submit my report while called upon to do so by the general evaluator during the evaluation segment. Thank you. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Priya Sinha. Can we have a huge round of applause for her brilliant introduction to her role, please? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes, that brings a smile to her face. That's very important. Yes, my idea of congratulating her was to set the correct tone for her first role that she's playing in the first meeting of this club. Likewise, it's very important to set the correct structure to your speech.
And that structure comes from correct grammar in your speeches. The next role player here that I'm going to introduce is the grammarian. And for this, I would like to call upon stage Toastmaster Desiree. Let me know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly and correct me if I'm wrong.
Desiree. But I love the way how you said it with that accent.
So much. Desires are always welcome. To you.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, as grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any misuses of the English language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, and thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is invigorate. I will share my screen. Can you see it? Invigorate? Uses of the word invigorate, invigorated, invigorating, invigoration. Meaning to give vigor, to, fill with life and energize. Life and energy, energize. Uses in sentences. Every morning I detox, invigorate, and awaken my body with a fresh glass of juice celery and green apples and a touch of lemon juice. A second sentence with the use of the word invigorate. Yoga breathing exercises can help relax or invigorate the body, but I prefer to invigorate my mind with Win Toastmasters Club. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I will give a word of the day report and grammatical usage report when called upon during the meeting. Thank you, Madam Toastmasters.
Thank you so much. Someone has already used the word of the day. The word of the day. Moving ahead with the next role player, how important do you think is listening when you are on your growth path? Anyone? It's very important. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Panna. It's very, very important. And in Toastmasters, it is all the more important because you learn by observing others and you try to imbibe those habits or those rituals in bit by bit in your journey towards becoming a brilliant Toastmaster. And the next role player that I'm going to call upon stage is the active listener. And I would like to call upon stage Toastmaster Sylvia to let us know about her role and give an introduction to this. Toastmaster Sylvia on stage, please.
Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and our honored guests. One of the most sincere forms of respect is actually listening to what another has to say. So in my role today as an active listener, I will be noting down interesting bits of information from any of our speakers and then asking questions at the end of the session to check if everyone has been paying attention. Back to you, Madam Evaluator.
All right, thank you so much. Can we have a huge round of applause for my brigade of women because they are going to keep a check on your growth path and helping you grow and become the brilliant Toastmasters that you already are and going to become. Now, moving ahead, I will now go off the stage, the virtual podium, and hand over this virtual podium to our wonderful Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rupasree. Toastmaster Rupasree.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. Thank you so much for explaining the role in such a wonderful manner. Now, whoever didn't have any idea about general evaluation or how it will be evaluated will have a complete idea about it. Thank you so much. Well, moving on, we'll first have the prepared speeches. But before the prepared speech begins, I will request the evaluator of the first speaker, Toastmaster Dahlia, to kindly read out the speech objectives.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, absolutely.
The first speaker is going to start her journey as a Toastmaster by giving the very first speech as a Toastmaster, which is none other than the icebreaker. And the purpose for the speech is to introduce himself or herself to the club and know the basic structure of his speech. The timer, please note that the speech timing is 4 to 6 minutes, and all the very best to the speaker.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dahlia. Well, when I asked this first speaker, how do you recognize yourself? She had a wonderful answer to that. She said that I am a go-getter person. How? I never want to settle things the way they are. I want to finish it off clearly, completely there because I don't want to keep things as they are. She is a very challenging person and she loves to win situations with her power every time. So, friends, please help me welcome today's first speaker, one of the most beautiful lady of Win Toastmasters, Toastmaster Jayati Datta. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Am I audible?
Completely.
Okay, thank you so much for this elaborate introduction. May I begin my speech?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Thank you. There's a saying regarding the amount of sindoor which falls on the bride's nose when her groom is putting it on her forehead. It determines how much he will love her. But then, what happens when this sindoor is not there on her forehead anymore? What happens then? Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests. I will tell you what happens to her. Overnight, she becomes cursed, unlucky, inauspicious. I have been through all this. Friends, I was born in Kolkata and brought up in Bangalore. When I was studying in Jyotinivas College, I met my spouse. He was interning in a medical college over there. Soon after our studies got over, we got married and we shifted base to Bankura, where I reside. We have a son who is currently an entrepreneur. I thought my life was made, but then tragedy struck and my life was never the same again. The incidents which I'm going to share with you, my friends, have happened, occurred, and I still face them. Not to that extent, but it's there. I lost my husband to diabetic nephritis in September 2013. The aftermath of his death was horrendous. 3 months after his passing, it's a blur. It still is, because I cannot recall the incidents which happened during that period of time. My son tells me so. One day, I saw my son searching for earbuds and he couldn't find them. So I got up from my place, opened the drawer, fished out the packet and handed it over to him. Then realization dawned on me. I had become the go-to person of the family, the face of the family, and most importantly, the sole breadwinner of the family. My in-laws were aged and my son was then in the 12th standard. My life had completely changed to the life I was leading just a few months back. So there I was trying to chalk it all out when I decided to pay a visit to my nursing home. Now the steps which lead to my nursing home, there are 7 of them. When I alighted from my car and approached my nursing home, I saw around 12 to 13 people standing at the entrance of my nursing home, and I was rudely told to go back because I was incapable, unqualified, and to top it all, a widow. How could I enter, let alone run it? Something just snapped in me that time. I steeled myself. I looked into the speaker's eyes, and with a calm but strong voice, I declared, I own this place and I am the one who's going to take charge. And if anybody has a problem with that or refutes that, can walk out. With these words, I marched into my nursing. Ironically, this same speaker is the one who used to always welcome me when I visited the place of my husband. Another incident, my neighbor's daughter Nandini, my beautiful Nandini, her engagement. She was a constant fixture at my home. She was the daughter I did not give birth to. I loved her. To her engagement, I was not included. Inauspicious. Nandini got married, settled abroad. Time passed. And one fine day, she wanted to visit her hometown. So she came down here. On the evening of her visit, her husband met with a bad accident. He was admitted to my nursing home in a critical condition. And we were searching around frantically for his blood type. We weren't getting a match. So I requested the attending doctor to try my blood. And to my pleasant surprise and relief, it was a match. 2 bottles of blood. 2 bottles of my blood coursed through his veins. He recovered miraculously. All this time, Nandini was clinging on to me. And when she saw her mother, she cried in anguish, Ma, is she auspicious enough for you now? Sometimes I wonder why people don't realize that becoming a widow was not my choice. I did not have any hand in it. Having said that, I am now a changed person, a better one at that, a stronger one. And I run my nursing home successfully. I still do get invited to these pujas and ceremonies, from which I was shunned before. All because of the pinch of sindoor, which doesn't adorn my forehead anymore. Friends, I ask you this question. Is the vermilion or the sindoor on the woman's forehead the only thing that identifies her? What do you think, Toastmaster of the Day?
Would request every single member and guest to kindly unmute themselves and applaud for our wonderful speaker. What a wonderful speech, Toastmaster Jayati. What a wonderful speech. Trust me, I don't have words to appreciate this. I am having goosebumps. This is who you are. This is who you are, Toastmaster Jayati. You are defining yourself with your courage, with your power. This is who you are. We are glad that we have such a strong member in WIN. Thank you for being here. Wonderful. Well, we'll be moving on to another strong lady, strong pillar of not only WIN, but Toastmasters. But before I introduce the next lady, may I please request her evaluator, Toastmaster Stacy, to kindly read out the speech objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rupasree. Yes, and today Toastmaster Neelu will be giving her speech, which has to have the speech should deliver, that she delivers should inspire the others. And the purpose of this speech is for the members and the audience to be inspired by her words. She has 5 to 7 minutes for her speech, and I wish you all the best, Neelu. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Stacy. Well, the next speaker is going to deliver her level 3 speech. Who is this lady? Well, this lady has a common line whenever she speaks into the forum. What is it? I am not that strong in English. Trust me, friends, this line is her tagline. But if you remove this, you will find a whole lot of power inside her. She keeps on saying this, but she's the one who has won so many awards from different clubs. She was sharing it one day. Some of them she has won 2 lipstick. She has won a mug. She has won a book. Well, I said I would be appreciating you more only if you share 1 lipstick with me. But still waiting for that time. I haven't got it yet. This lady is an HR professional and she believes she's imperfectly perfect. But we all believe she's completely perfect because she is the way she are. She is still learning. If you ever go to her social media site, you will always find out different new innovative things. Sometimes she's dancing with a tune. Sometimes she's singing because she enjoys life the way it is, the way she is. This is who she is. Please help me welcome today's second speaker with a speech title, Equality, the Demand of the Era. Equality, the Demand of the Era, Toastmaster Neelu Sharma. Over to you.
Thank you. Adya, please give me tea, dear. Yes. Bahu, give me fruits. Yes, Mama. Bhabhi, where are you? Give me my tiffin. I'm getting late. Yes, please take. This is my daughter, Adya family. And I believe this is the scene of every second house in India. Fellow Toastmasters and my dear guest, I believe that we all live in a patriarchal setup in which women are suppressed and silenced in the name of chastity, dignity, and honor. We still live in a society where majority of women financially dependent on the male member of family. By this, I mean women are suffocating, breaking up, dying every day, every moment, but they do not have any alternative. This is the current situation in our country, India. Recently, while the whole world was under the lockdown, most of us here in India spent our time in watching Ramayana and Mahabharata. But it is saddening that despite watching and reading these great epics innumerable times, we failed to learn from them. We still debate where Lord Rama was virtuous or Ravana. But where is Devi Sita, whose suffering were never ending? Sita, the princess of Mithila, accompanied Rama to the forest. She got abducted by Ravana. Later, she was asked to give the test, fire test, Agni Pariksha, to prove her chastity. She gave, yet she was abandoned by Lord Rama. Well, Sita, the queen of Ayodhya, spent her life in the forest and raised her sons with dignity. We tell our girls to bear, to tolerate, citing the example of Sita. But why do we forget that when Sita could not take the humiliation anymore, she left Lord Rama and went to the earth's womb? Sita set an example that no matter how much a man loves a woman, if he does not treat them well with respect, they will lose them. Friends, I have been passionate Toastmaster for almost 10 years. I remember an incident that was I was awarded the most passionate award at Toastmasters Club in 2017 in City of Joy Toastmaster Club. When I reached home, I was scolded for being late and get humiliated. Should ladies not be allowed to pursue their hobbies and passion? This is the type of discrimination we see this whole society. And in our office, I work in a constructions company, and most of my colleagues and staff members are male. They always feel awkward because I am HR manager and I supervise them. I neither got the respect I deserve nor the promotion on time. In order to overcome these gender bias, I started put in more effort to my work and then my team members. And in this way, I got the due recognition from my company for my hard work or efforts. Patriarchy runs in our veins. Why is that we confine our daughters, sister, wives, and mother? We ask girls not to roam around because the world is not a safe for them. But we do not stop boys for roaming around freely. Instead of protecting girls by locking them in their houses, why can we not create a safe society for them? Well, locking is surely easier than changing the things. We tend to raise our kids by discriminating on the basis of their gender. I am ashamed to say, knowingly or unknowingly, I did the same. I remember when my daughter would come home late from her school by only half an hour, I could not tolerate it. However, I never used to bother if my son returned home after 4 or 5 hours. My daughter was in ninth grade when she learned household chores, but my elder son, who is 24, still does not perform any household chores. Then I realized the error of my ways, so I decided to break the tradition and started to persuade my son to take basic responsibility. Initially, he resisted, but finally, he realized his responsibility and started supporting. Friends, the day we start raising our sons right, women will not get mistreated by them. We should be sensitive towards the feeling of ladies and should bring up our sons in the same manner we bring up our daughters. The fight for gender equality is huge and it cannot be attained unless we commit to personal transformation and collective action to bridge the gap between two genders. I agree fully with Sylvia Path has said. Let us be aware of the innumerable justice we have been doing to women by taking them for granted. And let us do everything we can to create a society defined by equality, safety, and happiness. What do you say, Madam TMOD of the evening? Over to you.
Absolutely, Toastmaster Neelu. Absolutely. What a power package it was. Completely agreed with the point. Highly inspired with your speech. Thank you so much for such a wonderful and empowering speech. Thank you. Well, moving on. Who we are. Well, if I am asked this particular question, who I am, you know what I will say? Well, before I say anything, since I'm always invigorated with the beauty of the hills, I will visit the hills the way I do with my family. There, I will sit in the veranda with the glass doors, windows widely opened, nobody aside or near me to disturb me. I will sit with a large cup of coffee, cool breeze just touching me with my hairs flying. I will start thinking about it. And this is what I have done lot of times. Whenever I visit somewhere, especially the hills, I try being with myself. I try asking myself, who am I? What is my purpose? What am I here for? Just to play the roles merely, or for something different? What is it for? But still, I have been searching the answer to it until one day when I found out I am who I am. I am that person who cries because something hurts me. When people tries to pull me down or speak against me, it hurts me and I cry. I am that person who loves to smile and help others smile always because I cannot see teary faces. It hurts me. Why will people cry? Don't cry. I am here to make you smile. And I love doing that always. I am that person who loves to fight with her daughter. Whenever we are in argument, I have to be the one who wins because she has to listen to me because I am her mother. This is what I am. I love to be pampered. I love to enjoy myself with my friends. And there are so many things that I love doing. And the best thing that I love, sit with myself and think. What? Nothing. Just to be with myself. That is what I am all about. And I love myself for that. Well, moving on to know more about who we all are, we have the second section coming up. For the second section, we have another brilliant lady. Now, the moment I said second section, I could observe her settling herself. Okay, now it's my turn. This is who she is. Well, when I asked this lady, what is that little question about yourself which only you know and nobody else knows? She came up with a brilliant answer. Would you all want to know what it is? Well, she said, I would always secretly play until Ellen Musk comes out with the Star Trek. What for that? You know why? Because she's so tired of traveling. She's so tired of traveling in planes, boarding plane. Every time she has to travel somewhere, it's so boring and tiring for her. She wants a Star Trek so that traveling is a regular part every time, but traveling on planes deducted from her lifestyle. Well, this is another beautiful and amazing lady of Wind Toastmasters who is expecting Elon Musk bring out something like this. Well, we all will set this message in our WhatsApp or our social media groups, praying for our table topic master, Elon Musk. Please bring a Star Trek for our one and only Toastmaster, Shahida Ghosh, as the table topic master. Over to you, Toastmaster Shahida.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. So good evening to everyone. Let us begin with the much anticipated table topic section. And before that, my secret is my secret. I hope it's safe with all of you. Yes, so before we begin, let me explain what this session is all about. Table Topics is an impromptu speaking section where I, as the table topic master, will give you some topics and you have to speak on the topic for a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes with a 30-second grace period only on the upper side, which has been very nicely explained by our timer, Toastmaster Panna already. And only guests have the option to change their topic if they wish. And there is only one chance for change of topic. Now, I request the participants of this session to please volunteer for this section. And let me assure you, we have some very interesting topics lined up to invigorate the speaker in you. So waiting for people to please volunteer and give your name. And there was a teacher I had who used to say, you volunteer or we volunteer. So I don't want to go to the next stage. Really request people to volunteer and please come up for this first session that we have at Wien Toastmaster chapter. Okay, we have Toastmasters Kritika. Okay. Can we have two names so that we know? Others may take a little bit more time. We have Toastmasters Kritika. Okay. Guest Lavinia, Megha, Sushma, Amrita. Okay, Sushma, wonderful. Okay. Okay, so we have Kritika, Sushma, and let me see all of you. Okay, so I will start off. I'll start off and then we can take up more names. So our first table topic for the day is I'll have to, I think, declare the name, correct? The first speaker is Kritika, and the topic is My Attitude Defines Me.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saida. And it's a wonderful topic. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. Like a lot of time in our life, we are called upon by people about different things. They represent us by calling different names. They become our identity many times in life. And we carry this identity until when we understand it's my attitude that makes my identity. And the moment we realize this is the realization that this is me, this is myself. And then we grow and we prosper and we live up to what we are supposed to. We move ahead in our life where we fulfill our life purpose. And this whole attitude of changing and looking at the things defines us. So it's very important to have this attitude, because with the attitude we can live according to our complete identity, and that will bring invigorate us, and we will be successful in our life. Thank you for the topic, and back to you, Toastmaster Saida.
Thank you, Kritika. Indeed, it was an invigorating speech. So thanks so much for taking part. So our next speaker for the day is our guest, Sushma, and the topic is A Woman Is. The next speaker is our guest, Sushma, and the topic is A Woman Is.
Well, thank you for such a wonderful topic. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Audible, visible.
Perfect. The woman is, well, a woman is complete by herself. I would say first this. A woman is a woman by herself. She is a daughter. She's a wife. She's a mother. She is also daughter-in-law. She is also a professional. And she is a creative part of the whole infrastructure on which the house depends. It is she who actually defines how the family will be, how it will look. It is she who makes the home actually a wonderful place, a happening place where everybody can enjoy. It is she who is working at the back end, whether it is food, whether it is study of the child, whether it is the happiness and the relaxation of the husband, and whether it is the care to be taken for the in-laws. And she is a wonderful daughter of that daddy who is waiting and saying and being proud that yes, she is my daughter and she is the one who is so successful. And they really, feel, yes, I have given birth to somebody who is a Shakti by herself. So what a woman is, she is Shakti by herself. I would say this. Over to you, Toastmaster Saida.
Thank you so much, Sushma, for this amazing speech. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Toastmaster Shruti. The topic is We Become When We Give. Next speaker is Toastmaster Shruti. The topic is We Become When We Give.
I just received an email from my boss Sunday evening saying that he needs a creative urgently. And by the way, he lives in US. I do not know where will he send this in the middle of the night in US. But anyways, I said I will give you whatever you need. The attention that you have given to me, I will give it back because I do not keep it with me because otherwise it will grow exponentially in my head. So what I did, I called up my creative agency. Hello, Debanjali, can you please get me the creative done now? Shruti, but what will you do with it right now? It's Sunday. Entire office is closed. No, Debanjali, my boss is working, and so I'm working, and you are also working. So get it done. That was the tension that I transferred from my boss to her. She also did not keep it with herself because she also wanted to give me some tension. She said, Shruti, I'm so sorry. My graphic designer is not working today. He's sick. I'm like, entire nation is saying, don't talk about sickness and all, yeah, please. I mean, tell me something I don't know. And the tension was given back. And it was growing exponentially, by the way. I told my boss that I will create something. The email that I just wrote him back saying, I'll give you the creative by tonight, but that will be the first draft. The basic idea of saving your buns from getting caught from your bosses is just to say it that this is the first draft of this email and I will give you. We are still working on it. This is in progress. And that's how you save yourself and give it back whatever you're given. Over to you, to Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much for this lovely, lovely speech. I thought somebody will take this up and make it a philosophical turn, but it turned out to be quite a hilarious one. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shruti. So now I call upon and request other members to please volunteer. I'd request Toastmaster Lucia, Nasima, Megha, Amrita to please volunteer. It's a great chance to make your voice heard. Yes, Stacy. Yeah, okay. Our next volunteer is Stacy, and our topic is Life is a Journey. Our next speaker is Stacy, and topic is Life is a Journey.
Wow, life is a journey. Isn't it invigorating living this one life? Yes, it takes a toll on us at some times, and sometimes it's a blessing. It's fantastic to get up in the morning and find yourself alive. So in fact, last night I was groaning with pain in my stomach, and I told my husband that, I think I'm going to die. And if anything happens to me, please don't get married again. Take care of our children. So in the morning when I got up, he said, "You're alive." So I was like, how can you be so mean? So, life is a journey that sometimes you feel you're up and sometimes you feel you're just so low down. And, when I think of it now, it was like, I feel so foolish of what I was talking last night. So we don't realize some things that we do in life could have such funny repercussions, and some things could be really serious. And whatever life comes with in front of us, we have to learn to accept it and enjoy every moment in it, not just cry about it that, oh no, this is what's happening to me. Like, I was groaning in pain and I thought I was going to die. I thought my appendix would burst, or there was some stone stuck somewhere. And then in the morning when I got up, I was perfectly all right. So it must have just been some kind of gas troubling me. So that's what we look at life in such a huge picture and see only the problems, but actually they can just blow up in bubbles. And life is a fantastic journey which you have to live and enjoy. Live and let live. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much on this lovely take on life as a journey, Toastmaster Stacey Fernandez. So can we have one last speaker timer, Toastmaster Panna? Can you have one more speaker if time allows it? We have had, okay.
We have
Amrita
Amrita
has
raising her
volunteered.
hand. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, who's this? Who has raised a hand? I could not see, sorry.
Amrita.
Okay, sure. So our last speaker for the evening is Amrita. And the topic is, you have to choose one. So the topic is food, money, or hope. One thing that sustains me. I repeat, our speaker is Toastmaster Amrita. Food, money, or hope. One thing that sustains me.
Thank you so much. Really thought-provoking topic. All the three are very, very important for me. But I'll probably choose the first one, which is definitely food. Can do without money, can do without a home. Street food would be perfectly okay with me. I see a lot of women laughing and smiling and enjoying. Thank you so much. We all echo that. I think we'll all miss those puchkas in Calcutta. So yes, food is definitely something that keeps me going. So it's just not that which gives me energy and those. I remember my daughter's class 2, class 3 books telling me energy giving food, bodybuilding foods, and those 3 kinds of foods that we teach our kids. But then yes, I definitely feel that food is more than that. It's like memories. It's so many times a stress buster for so many of us. Chocolate indulgences, all of us have had. Our cravings during pregnancies. I have been a person who has been doing night shifts so many times, and I remember going out for a coffee break and just indulging into something very cheesy, snacky to keep myself up during the night. So it is something that bonds me with people. Definitely. I have made friends over food. I have made friends over coffee. I'm sure all of us have had friends from our coffee breaks, from our lunch breaks. In fact, I would like to quote one instance. I remember my feedback last time was a real life story. So I used to be, this was my first job in a corporate, and this used to be a person who, a very, very, very normal looks, not very attractive looking kind of a person. A guy who was really dark, very slim, and could not speak and open his mouth, would be very shy and just not my kind of person. He happened to be somebody whose name started from A, and how corporates roster their breaks would be usually alphabetically. So it would be me who would share my breaks with him all the time. And I remember how he was the probably only friend who came to my wedding. So this is how somebody whom I really did not think was good enough to talk to became one of my best friends. So food was what brought us together. So I have very, very fond memories, very, very long things to talk about food and what it brings to me. However, yes, it does remain one of the basic things that we survive, we strive, we keep struggling in life throughout for, keeping in mind the money and the home as well. So yes, the trio do matter. I keep food at the epic. Thank you so much.
So much, Toastmaster Amrita. Food indeed is, in literal sense, the invigorating element in our life, giving us life and energy. With this, we come to the end of table topic speeches. I request the timer, Toastmaster Panna, to please share the time durations each of the speaker to in their speeches.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shahida, table topic master Toastmaster Shahida. Most of the speakers have qualified. Toastmaster Kritika, 1 minute 17 seconds. Toastmaster Shushma, 1 minute 34 seconds. Toastmaster Shruti, 1 minute 47 seconds. Toastmaster Stacy, 1 minute 48 seconds. Toastmaster Amrita, we love your story on how food is important, and we were enjoying it so much that we didn't feel the time so much, but you did cross the time limit of 3. You spoke for 3 minutes 42 seconds. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you so much, Timer Ma'am Panad. So I hand it over to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rupasree. Thank you everyone for taking part with so much of zeal.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master Shaida, for such a wonderful role. You have really brought in such interesting topics that all our speakers, indeed all the members along with the guests, enjoyed speaking. Thank you so much once again. Well, again, who we are. Well, in short, as I said, I was the person who loves to think, but nothing. Added to it, I'm also a person who loves to dream, who loves to speak in front of thousands of people on the stage. Yes, I want to do that one day. And I have so many other dreams, hopes, aspirations, which I'm still waiting for. I am the person who is sometimes frustrated also. You know why? Because I keep the task for the last moment and I never miss the scolding from our Abhishek Mitra, respected division director. Yes, I am used to it now. Since the term I was playing the vice president education role till now when I'm playing the area director role. He knows me and I know that this is something that is going to come up. But next time, whenever I see him online, I make sure that I complete the task and then call him back. Yes, you were trying to say something. This is something that I've learned with time, and I am that. So, what I feel, who we are what we are. We constantly don't need to engineer our mind and find out I am not what I am and I have to be something different. That is what the others think about me. Not required, because we can be what we are and enjoy the journey completely. That's all from my end. As a Toastmaster of the evening, would be handing over the stage to the Madam Press, to our general evaluate. To a Madam, to a general evaluator, Toastmaster Shruti. Over to you, ma'am, general evaluator.
Thank you so much. Can we have a huge round of applause? Can we all unmute ourselves and have a huge round of applause for the wonderful session that our beloved Toastmaster Rupasree has conducted? And I assume we all agree that this was a brilliant session to kickstart this club. I do not know. I think I'm caffeine deficient right now, or maybe some red wine. Well, moving ahead, it's Sunday night. The Monday blues are already seeping in. Moving ahead with the evaluation section that I'm going to conduct right now, I would now call upon stage the first evaluator. But before that, I would like to tell you how I'm going to evaluate this entire meeting. The first section will be the evaluation of the prepared speeches, like the way the entire meeting was conducted. The second section will be the table topic speakers evaluation. And in the third section, I will be calling on stage all the my brigade of wonderful evaluators who will help you in your growth path. So this will be in 3 sections. Moving ahead with the first section is the prepared speech section. Can we have the evaluator of the first speaker who was Toastmaster who was, yes, evaluated Toastmaster Dahlia, please, can we have you on stage?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible? Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and future Toastmasters and Toastmaster Jayati Datta in particular. You are the perfect embodiment of what a strong woman is supposed to be like. You have overcome so many difficulties, and I'm sure each and every one of you are inspired and motivated by your journey that you have told us today. A few things that I absolutely loved and adored about your speech. Number one, that it was gripping, intriguing, and a catchy introduction, which had all of us right there hooked up. What are you going to say next? And it did not fail us, as you had an astounding and an even better motivating conclusion. So it was a perfect wrap with a perfect conclusion and an introduction, which was there. The second thing, it was perfectly structured, and the hand gestures that you had were right on point. When you showed us the sindoor, or when you showed us when the guy at the nursing home told not you or move away, that was there and that was needed to make an impact throughout the speech. The third thing that was amazing was that you stuck to the speech objectives. You clearly stated all of us who you are as a person, what your life journey is, and how amazing you are the person you are right now today in front of all of us. And we were all privileged to hear about your journey. Moving on to making this wonderful speech an even better one, just a couple of things. Number one was the camera positioning. Ma'am, the camera was at a lower angle, hence, when you were making a point, you had to come forward and you were looking down at us. So, at the next time you can do is make your camera or laptop or device that you're using at an eye level so that we have a perfect eye contact throughout the journey. And the second one is the voice modulation. There were so many interactions between you and your kid, you and the person from the nursing home. There, a little bit of voice modulation could have given us a perfect touch and a blend. But apart from that, I loved the entire motivational factor that you had going throughout the speech. You had broken the barriers, and you have actually inspired each and every one of us. In a nutshell, it was one of the most intriguing and the best icebreakers that I have come across in the 2 years of journey that I have been Toastmaster. It had a beautiful introduction, a wonderful motivation conclusion. There were point-on objectives, but with a little bit of voice modulation and camera positioning, this speech is truly going to be a 7-star speech for me. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dahlia. And I don't think you have missed out on any of the points. I just have one commendation that I'm in awe of your speech, and you have raised the bar for yourself because it never felt like the icebreaker speech. Kudos to you. Many more to come. Moving ahead to the second evaluator of the second speaker, I would like to call upon stage Toastmaster Stacy Fernandez, who would be evaluating Toastmaster Neelu Sharma. Can we have Toastmaster Stacy?
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Wow, Neelu, your speech was like the introduction was like a teaser of a movie. Calling this one, calling that one. I thought there was Akshay Kumar and he was, calling all his the minions that he has around, and then he makes his entry. So that was your speech. You just dived in like Akshay Kumar, and your daughter, you got your daughter in, the protagonist, and you got her to demand for things, and your hand movements, your gestures, you gripped us from the word go. And then you started with your body of the speech where you got in so many examples and you gave us such an uplifting moment of empowerment of women and how we are kind of demeaned at times, and then you brought it up again. You gave us your examples, and the best way of convincing an audience is giving your own life stories. When you break your heart out, when you come out with something from your heart, it is so touching. It goes into everyone's blood, DNA, and you feel the feelings that she is feeling. We could really imagine what she went through at her office, at the other places. And that's when she felt that she needs to change herself, and then how she worked on her son. You really inspired us. Your objective of the speech is to inspire the audience and to give them a gripping and engaging topic, and you did exactly. You nailed it, absolutely nailed it. The objectives, fantastic. Just a little part where I would like to tell you, if you could just stand up and give your speech. And again, the camera thing is very important. Maybe when we have a meeting in person, fine, you look at the audience generally, but we need to, in these virtual meetings, we need to take a lot of care about the eye contact we make. We need to look into the eye of the camera and speak, so the person looking at us actually feels that yes, I am talking to you. But all in all, a wonderful speech, very well done for your I think third one coming. Yes, the third one coming. Thank you there. And fabulous work done. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Stacy. Uh, for the prepared speakers or all the speakers who are attending the virtual meetings, I have one collective suggestion, not a feedback, but a suggestion that what you can do is you can dress up in the best of your ability. And when you look at your speaker or your laptop or your screen or your phone, pin yourself, because we as a woman, we tend to look at ourselves wherever we find the mirrors. So this is what I do, and I fool you all that I'm looking into the camera, but I'm looking at myself all the time. So that has helped me to get rid of this feedback from my evaluators that Shruti, look into the camera. Where are your eyes? Why are you not looking into it? And I'm like, yes, now I'll do it. So that helps. That has helped me. Let me know if that helps you all as well. Now, moving ahead with my second section of the evaluation, which is the table topics. We all are table topic speakers, by the way, whether we attend it or not, because we all have impromptu places where we have to speak for ourselves. Moving ahead, the first table topic speaker was Toastmaster Kritika. The topic was My Attitude Defines Me. Yes, indeed, your attitude defined you very well, because I really love the fact how you started your speech from identity and linked it back to attitude, and then again mentioned the identity. That means you know where you started, and you knew how to link the topic that was given to you and link it back to where you started. That is completing the circle of life. And between everything that you were doing, you also use the word of the day. This is brilliant as a table topic speaker, because people tend to forget. We as Toastmasters tend to forget when it, and especially being the first speaker, to get into the warm up zone of the table topics, it takes time. And that was a brilliant kickoff, Toastmaster Kritika. A round of applause for Toastmaster Kritika for being the wonderful table topic speaker here. Next speaker was Toastmaster Sushma. Toastmaster Sushma is here. Okay, yes, she's here. Your topic was A Woman Is. And the way she started with adjectives, nouns, and verbs, it seemed to me like a poetic phrase. The entire speech seemed to me like a poem, because the way she started, and in my head it was rhyming as well. I'm not sure how many of you heard that rhymes, but I thought that topic was secretly given to her, that I will give you this topic and you have to write this and you have to speak on this, because this was brilliant. And A Woman Is, she also mentioned Shakti, and she also then mentioned power. So that is the way that when you mention a word in any other language, if you mention the meaning of it, because it's as a Toastmaster, it's an international community, we are supposed to tell the meaning of it. And that was the brilliant usage of this beautiful topic. Kudos to you, Toastmaster Sushma, of connecting it, this open-ended topic. Next was Toastmaster Shruti. If anyone has evaluated, please come up or has taken notes. or I can connect with you, any one of you who has evaluated me offline. Next was Toastmaster Stacy. Your topic was My Life as a Journey. And how beautifully she started with a smile about talking about how she woke up someday and she said that what if I die, you'll get remarried and take care of the children. And then she shared some of the excerpts from her own life. And then she connected back how life is a journey. In a table topic, it's important to share these snippets and connect them well. And I think all the four speakers, I have seen that part, that all of you have connected the snippets very very well. So this is one good start for acing this table topic section here particularly. One thing is that when you're talking about journey, it will be great if you would talk about certain milestones. I know this is very difficult when it's a 2 minute table topic, but in since you have raised the bar of yours for yourself, if you talk about certain milestones, it would be great for us as a speaker to connect with your journey. Moving ahead is the fifth speaker, Toastmaster Amrita. Is she here? Yes, she is here. All right. So the topic was priorities in place, food, money, or hope. And she took some time, but she was very clear with her priorities. And that's what I like. People are clear with their priorities, that they need, they love, they must have food. And how beautifully she linked with everything, how food is important in every part of the life. This is something that we can take it as a takeaway message for the table topics, that whatever topic, if you're given to choose something, to choose from three or four options, you can emphasize on the fact how it is important for you as a journey or as a part of your journey. So that was beautiful. That was the table topic section evaluation. Can we have the third section? For the third section, I would like to call upon stage the first person of my brigade, the first soldier of my brigade, Madam Timer, Toastmaster Panna Rashpire, to tell us the report.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Shruti. I've already given the report about the table topic speakers.
Yes.
So I will go on to the prepared speech section. Both the speakers have qualified. Toastmaster Jayati with 6 minutes 25 seconds. Yay, Jayati, you did it! And Toastmaster Neelu with 5 minutes 50 seconds. So both of them have qualified. For the evaluators, Toastmaster Dahlia with 3 minutes 04 seconds and Toastmaster Stacy with 2 minutes 39 seconds. Both of them are qualified. So a big round of applause for all the speakers. Thank you so much, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Madam Timer. I want to, so what I will do is I will evaluate the particular role player as soon as they finish giving us their reports. So for Madam Timer, I have one appreciation part, that how beautifully she gave her report and how beautifully she told the timing of those one of the table topic speakers who was way beyond her the stipulated time, but she made sure that she said it in a wonderful way so that the other person does not feel slightly different about it, because it's about how we speak and how we communicate. That was brilliant, and that is something that I'm going to imbibe and learn from you, Madam Timer. Going to the next role player, I have the R counter, Toastmaster Priya Sinha, for her report. Can we have Toastmaster Priya on stage, please?
Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I am here with my report, which are as follows. First is TM Reva. I got two ah for her and two long pauses. TM Ruchira, two ah and one long pause. TM Rupasree, two multiple, but multiple times. TM Shruti, one ah, one and one repeat. TM Panna, flawless. TM Desiree, flawless. TM Sylvia, I think she's not here. Sylvia?
No, no, I'm there. I said used one hour.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Then it is flawless for you. TM Jayati, one TM Dahlia, one repeat. TM Nilu, two and one repeat. TM Stacy, two are multiple overused word, one and repeat two. TM Shahida, one uh, um, sorry, TM Kritika, multiple times TM Megha, TM क्या नाम मृदुला विश्वराज Priyanka, sorry, Susma, flawless. TM Amrita, one, two repeats. That's all. Over to you, General Evaluator. This is from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was a brilliant, the report. And I like about it that you were very clear about how many hours and ums and hours. And perhaps I have one suggestion for you, that if you have an Excel sheet, or perhaps the SA of the club can float an Excel sheet, which will help you tabulate everything, so that you can share that Excel sheet either as a share screen option, or you can look at it and tell about all the role players, how many hours and ums and hours, so that
Okay,
it will. Yeah.
sure for next time.
Thank you so much. Moving ahead with the next next soldier of my brigade is grammarian, Toastmaster Desiree. Over to you.
Good evening. The word of the day is or was invigorating or invigorates. I noted 9 uses of the word, 6 uses in the chat, 1 with the Toastmaster of the evening, and 2 with table topics. I must admit that both speeches were amazing. I noted no grammatical errors, and I really enjoyed those speeches. The table topic sessions were also invigorating. Thank you, Toastmasters.
Thank you so much for the quick, crisp report, and we are always on time. And I have one suggestion for you, Madam Grammarian, that it would be great if you could share the word of the day along with its usage in the chat option, so that people can always take a look back at it, and perhaps you can share it before the beginning of every section of the meeting. Amazing. Moving ahead with the fourth soldier of my brigade is the active listener. Toastmaster Sylvia, can we have you on stage, please?
Good evening. Thank you. A very inspiring and invigorating, using it for the 10th time session this one was. I am so happy to be doing the active listeners role today, because it was a session that was worth listening to, and all that I have gathered is nuggets of inspiration, and kudos to all of our speakers today. So I'll just start with a few questions. First, I find the hills invigorating. Who was the speaker?
Toastmaster of the day.
That's correct. Yes. The next, build small rituals over time for growth. Anybody?
Jayati, I guess.
No.
Shruti.
No.
Shruti. She's claiming
yes,
also
yes,
she said it.
Yes, that's right. That is what Shruti. Next, I am the one who is going to take charge.
Toastmaster Jayati?
Yes, that's correct. My attitude made my identity.
Kritika.
Correct. A woman is complete by herself.
Sushma.
Sushma.
Yes.
You're going by order, so we can also guess by order.
Oh. That's making it easier. Let me start. Okay, but I'm almost near the end. Food is memories.
Amrita.
Amrita.
It is fantastic to get up in the morning and find yourself alive.
Stacy.
Yes. Thank you, guys. And back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much. That was brilliant. And that was pretty invigorating. Finally, I'm using word of the day. So now I would evaluate the entire meeting, and I promise I'll be really quick within 60 seconds. I appreciate that Disa introduced the topic and also gave introductions about how to place yourselves on the Zoom screen. No shortcuts, rename yourself and put on your cameras, switch on your videos in whatever position, location you are. So that was very nice. And the meeting began on time. The president, Toastmaster Ruchira, shared this story from her own life, and that was something, the second step of setting the tone of the meeting, and that is really nice. You tend to warm up the minds of people where we are headed to in the meeting, and by the end of it, we tend to internalize whatever messaging is given by the Toastmaster of the day or the meeting, and more so because it's a women's club. Toastmaster of the day, that was a brilliant theme. I think brilliant should be the word of the day by now. That was a brilliant theme, and I loved the story that you shared in the second part of it. I have one feedback about the entire session is that the theme is something where you could have engaged more with people, and maybe you might have had options to play some games with them, just to engage with the audience, because it was more about them, less about disseminating any form of information. So audience would have engaged with you a bit more, and it would have been fun for you also to conduct and to weave in your stories with theirs. So this is one feedback. Rest of it was brilliant. The way you had introduced everyone, each of these evaluators, speakers, table topic master, general evaluator, everything was in place on spot, just like the eyeliners. And the all the role players were fabulous. The guests, everyone is doing so good. Will just take 30 more seconds to speak here. This is my, I think, second session that I'm attending as a charter member of the club. The first session I attended as the TMOD of the day. The brainchild of this club is to, for women, we need to always claim our space. There is something that Ruchira said when I said that I said it, that this is something that is very important as women, that we need to take space. We need to claim that this is mine, because we will never be given. We will never be given anything, be it work, be it home, or any place. We saw this in the speeches, in the two speeches, and we saw some bits and pieces of it in the table topic speakers as well. And perhaps you will see in our Toastmaster, in our president also, and in my speech, in Toastmaster of the Day speech, everyone is talking about that they had to claim their space. And now that we have a space, make use of it, make it fruitful, come up and take up roles, improve, make mistakes. There is no one who will discourage you in this forum. And if you I will share one small snippet from my life. There is a social media platform called Instagram. If you go to Instagram, there are certain communities where women support women like their own sisters. If one of the person who is a creep, or who is trying to do some nonsense on Instagram, they stand in support, they stand in solidarity. And that is not the trending word that I'm telling you, that is the meaning that is shared there. So this is our club. Make use of it, take up roles. Don't hesitate, claim your space. At least here, claim your space, and we will take care of the rest of the world. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Brilliant, brilliant, Madam General Evaluator. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, yes, the most important point that she has already put in our mind, claim your space. So because this is our club and we need to claim our space because we have to improve ourselves to express who we are. Well, just some more time, I'll request the president to spare some more time for me because I want to ask a question to our newly added member, Toastmaster Nasima. Can you please unmute yourself, Toastmaster Nasima? Thank you.
Hi everyone. Could you please repeat the question? I didn't hear it
I have
properly.
not yet questioned you. I will be questioning you. I just wanted to know, if I ask you directly, Toastmaster Nasima, how would you define yourself? Who you are?
Okay. I am a introvert person. I have very less friends. I just want to participate in. This is new to me actually. This platform is new to me. I just want to participate to come out of my nutshell, and at the same time, I want to improve my communication skill. And that's it. I am a homemaker. I live in Oman. I have 2 kids. That's it.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nasima. Well, we are a mother, as we have already been defined by our beautiful relationship role. Yes, we are having so much of responsibilities on our shoulder, and we women can deal with every situation strongly. Lucia, what is your opinion about this?
Could you please repeat?
What is your opinion about yourself, who you are?
Um, I would say, a very quiet and analytical person. I've always chosen very specialist, roles where I've always worked rather, by myself, and that's done by choice, and it has been something I worked on for a very long time. And so now I have decided to be a little more open and go out of my comfort zone a little. And so Toastmasters is definitely an attempt of mine to in that direction. And so I'm very happy to be here, and thanks for the chance for asking me to speak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Lucia. Thank you so much. Well, let not be defined by others. Let us all define ourselves. What we are, that is what we are. Because we think that is what we are, not because others think what we are. With that, I sign off as a Toastmaster of the evening, handing over the podium to Toastmaster Ruchira, the club president. Over to you, Madam President.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the day. And let's have a round of applause for the wonderful job that she's been doing anchoring our entire session for today. Now, before I ask for some guest feedback, I've just released a form in the meeting link. So this is, since this is our first chapter meeting, let me introduce you to one of the practices that we have at Toastmasters, which is to motivate ourselves, all the role players, by finding out who's the winner for that particular meeting. So every week we vote for which role player has performed the best, and that's just a little bit of motivation to take up roles and perform them to your best. So guests and Toastmasters alike, please click on the link, enter your votes, and I'll announce the results at the end of the session. And while the results, while people are voting, let me take a little bit of feedback from some of the guests that we have today. I'm not sure if you're a guest or a Toastmaster. Guest Shushma, if you'd like to let us know a little bit about yourself and how you got to know about today's session.
Actually, I am a Toastmaster, and I don't know if Panna has already told. Yes, I am a Toastmaster of your club as well.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize.
Toastmaster of my club in Muscat.
Okay.
We are the same club in Muscat.
Yeah. No, even I am joining yours, Panna. Here.
Wow.
Okay.
Superb.
Oh, well, welcome
Okay.
to the club, Toastmaster
Thank
Shushma.
you. And I am in Oman, and I came to know about this club from Panna, and the attachment to me was only women's.
I can completely
So,
understand.
that's how.
Thank you so much for coming, and we are so happy to have you as our newest member as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'd also
My
like to
pleasure.
ask, I'm not sure again, guest or Toastmaster Amrita, if you'd like to let us know about how you got to know about today's session and a little bit about yourself.
Uh, I got the link from Rupasree herself. So I've already attended one of the meetings before as a guest. So it
Okay.
was a nice experience. So I was here once again to experience it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amrita, Toastmaster Amrita, for joining our session today. We were so happy to hear your take on the topic as well. And I'm sure I speak on behalf of everyone. I'd also like to take this time to ask some of the newer members to speak today. We also, the Toastmaster of the day did ask everyone, ensured everyone spoke. Toastmaster Priyanka, if you'd like to let us know how you felt about today's session. Toastmaster Priyanka, can you hear us? All right, let me move on. So we've all had time to speak at today's session, and I think at this time we can afford to ask the two men who've been sitting very quietly in the room to give their feedback on our first chapter meeting. Toastmaster Bisharaj, if you'd like to share your feedback.
Yeah, hi, Toastmaster Ruchira, and to all the lovely ladies over here. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful learning experience for me. One of the biggest takeaways that I have is from Toastmaster Panna, the way she made the remark that the particular member has spoken beyond her time limits in the most graceful way possible. I'll try to imbibe that in me as well. This is one of the learnings that I am taking away, and it's a wonderful to be a part of this. And I hope that this club grows and grows in the days and years to come, and may you all win more and more laurels for the division and the district.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bisharaj, and thank you for joining our session. And I'd also like to call our Division K director for his feedback. DTM Abhishek.
Yeah, Ruchira, am I audible?
Yeah.
Am I audible, Ruchira?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Yeah, so firstly, thanks to Vishwaraj for giving me some company because I have been a lone spectator in some of the meetings. Uh, I think you are the reason why I did not get racked today. That is the first point. Jokes apart, I think apart from the factor that this is primarily a women's only club, what I can see is that most of us are becoming or are already strong communicators and orators. And that bodes very well for people who are joining in fresh in Toastmasters because they'll get to learn a lot from the already experienced and seasoned orators. And I think that's the takeaway for me in today's from today's session. And the turnout was also really strong. I feel everyone supporting each other, and the way the roles were executed was amazing. So that's from my end. Thank you, Ruchira.
Thank
Back
you
to you.
so much. Thank you so much, DTM Abhishek. With that, we have the results. So I just quickly announced the results for today's session. The best speaker goes to Toastmaster Jayati. Please unmute yourself and applaud the best role players for today evening.
Ooh, lovely, lovely.
The best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Dahlia. The best role player for category 1, which includes the general evaluator, the TMOD, and the table topic master, goes to our Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Rupasree.
Wow, good, good, great. May this keeps coming.
The best table topic speaker for this evening goes to our Toastmaster guest, Shushma. Toastmaster Shushma, I'm sorry.
Awesome.
Wow.
And our most improved speaker is Toastmaster Neelu Sharma.
Wow, lovely.
And the best role player for category 2 comes to the president. With that, we come to the
Come on,
end
let's
of.
clap for. Don't feel shy, Ruchira. Let's clap for you.
With that, we come to the end of the session, and I formally close today evening session. Please feel free to stay back and chit chat if you would like to.
Yeah, lovely, awesome. What a wonderful session we had today.
Very, very nice.
Yeah. So like just trying to, okay,